three things I'm really thankful for, and I'm kind of embarrassed that I'm not crying. I have been crying a lot, trust me, for 3.5 years. But the ending of his life was so powerful, and I was so thankful that he didn't suffer that. I mean, of course I'm sad and I'm going to be crying a lot, but I'm kind of, everybody else is crying. I'm going, why aren't I crying? First I'm in shock, but I'm just seriously so happy how he passed, because when David first found out that he had cancer, he told me, he goes, if I'm going to die, I want to die a Christian martyr's death. And I was like, oh, man, don't talk about that. But, so, I talked to Mother Cassiana a couple days ago, and other people have been saying, it is, when you suffer like that, it is martyrdom. And so he got his wish with that. 3.5 years, I kept worrying I was going to have to give him CPR every morning. My biggest fear was that the doctor was going to say, there's nothing more we can do, David. And then I'd have to watch all that. And that never happened. They always had something for him. So that's why I'm at this point not crying, because he didn't have to hear that. And then he didn't know he was dying. I mean, when they intubated him, they put him in a coma. And he's singing, and they had to tell him to stop singing. And then when he passed, our family was singing to him. So it was just, he didn't know he was dying. He was not in pain, no morphine. It was just, I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful. That's all I can say, that he got to pass that way, and I'm happy for him. That's why I'm not crying today, because I'm happy for him. But yeah.
What song were you singing?
Oh yeah, well this is kind of, so all day we're singing pretty spiritual songs, and So then Sarah gets the video of when they were at a baseball game, and that song, Take Me Out in the Ball. And so she's playing the video, and our whole family's, singing this song. And the nurse comes in and says he just passed, because he was on a breathing machine, so we didn't see it, but she saw it on the machine. So I thought, what so David that he would choose when to, he's not going to do when it's a real spiritual. I mean, he was spiritual.
Oh my goodness!
He was telling us, lighten up, folks. This is, I'm going to a ball game, lighten up. So that was kind of good. But I want to thank everybody for being here. I mean, my best friend, one of my two best friends from high school flew in, Kathy, and then which one? The other Kathy flew in is two best friends that raised our kids together, and she came here, so that's been very, very helpful. And then friends, I can't believe you guys came, David's friends, and my goddaughter came and her family, and all you guys from the old church, Holy Theophany. I'm just really blown away. I'm thankful, Anna's friends, just David's friends, just really blown away. So I want to thank you. I want to thank David, because he really taught me a lot. I mean, when you live with somebody, you think you know your kid, but I go to church. I do all the prayers, and I try to do all that. But he was kind of in and out of church, but he really, really had a spiritual life and believed in God, asked God all the time, talked to God all the time. It was like, so I really got to learn more about faith because of him, and also just his positive. I mean, he really had learned to put boundaries around people and movies and everything else, anything that might bring him down and take his hope away. So, which is probably why he didn't play the piano the last 3 years, because there was so much pain inside that he didn't want to deal with it. But anyway, I've learned just to have more of an intimate relationship with the Lord because of David. I've learned to see the positive. He never judged anybody. I mean, I don't care if it was an unhoused person or a CEO of a big company. He'd call him bro. Hey, bro. He loved everybody. I mean, he was like, I go into, you go through a drive-in, and I'd just say, here's my order. And he'd go, can you just say hello to them? He was just so friendly. So I thank for him for all the stuff he's taught me. And then the other last thank you to you guys. Thank you to David. And I just thank the Lord. Thank you so much that his life ended that way. I really do, because my biggest fear, so he had a good ending, and I know he's with you now. And one last thing I wasn't going to mention, but Nicholas is David's old drinking buddy. I mean, they were drinking a handle a day. But David's over 5 years sober now, and I didn't know this story until just today. Nicholas told me that after David went to rehab, he went to an Oxford house, which is like a sober living home, for a while, and then Nicholas decided to get sober, and because in David's encouragement, I didn't realize that David encouraged him to stay in the sober house in the rehab. So that means a lot that, his life and legacy is going on. And now Nicholas and his girlfriend are both Oxford people, house parents or something like that. Is that what you call them? Or?
We're employees.
Employees, but they're both sober.
We open other Oxford houses in Colorado to help more people.
Yeah, so she has